finally back with day 2. Now that we are at 25,000 blocks away from spawn, it's time to start working on the build. But after a long journey, I think it fair to say he needs a break. So he will be fishing for a bit. After realizing his food supply was low, he started to collect meat with his mending pickaxe. When he had a sufficient amount, he went back into building his build with wax-cut copper blocks. This build is one of his old creations he made years ago. It's kinda like a pyramid in the middle with 4 entrances. Once he was satisfied with the top portion of the build, he started working on the base of it and digging down 3 blocks from the surface. Toward midday, he was able to complete 1/3 of the base, but decided he needed a break and headed towards the ocean. While taking a relaxing afternoon on the beach, he went into the water to get sand and other resources. Then he went back to the base to craft some buckets for water, since this is going to be a crucial part of his build. Setting up the last part of his build with sand, he was ready to start adding the water to the start of the base. He had to make multiple trips back and forth due to his lack of buckets. However, he was able to finish 3/8 of it. The good news is, after he was smart enough to make more buckets. In the process of making buckets, he also made glass. Now that all the water was in the base as he originally wanted, he could proceed to putting the remaining glass blocks in the base. Once finished, he ran to the ocean to catch fish and get other resources that he would need for the base. The first thing that was added was the sea pickles. After getting a good amount of air, the fish were next, then seaweed. The seaweed was the main thing that was added to the entire bottom of the aquarium area, and once he finished, he added light. He decided to add lanterns to the pyramid build because it gave off an interesting vibe. Kinda cool, but also a bit creepy. After he completed his tasks, there was one thing that was left to get from the nether: lava. But it wasn't as easy as you think. The journey was chaotic and dangerous to the point where he was never able to take a break after being attacked by every mob. He became under fire from a ghast and eventually gave away his position to the other mobs around the area, and something bad happened. He tried to make a break for it and survive against all the odds being against him. Unfortunately, he didn't make it and had to go back in. Luckily, he was able to find his stuff, but had to pick up his stuff while being attacked by a skeleton. He went left, right, up, down, and side to side to try to avoid the mob. Luckily, he was able to survive and decided to call it for the day. That was a little hectic, don't you think?